raid on the reserves. That's how National Development Minister Desmond Lee describes a suggestion to value land for build-to-order flats at historical cost. Non-constituency MP Leong Man Wai made this suggestion in a previous parliamentary sitting and on social media. Responding to a question from Aljunied MP Gerald Giam, Mr. Lee says that Mr. Leong's suggestion is too good to be true.
He says governments sell land to HDB at distant historical costs, ignore market valuation principles. So Singaporeans today get dirt cheap housing without having to pay more taxes or experience cutbacks elsewhere to pay for this. Get the benefit of the cake and eat it. As DPM Lawrence Wong had said previously in a debate on the GST and on many other occasions, if you want to tap more on the reserves, diminish it, use more of it for today and leave less for tomorrow, let's just say it plainly, let Singaporeans see it as it is.
Will the high resale prices that we have seen in recent years push up the value of BTO flats and impact the price that Singaporeans pay for their BTO flats? Or does HDB increase subsidies to completely offset the increase in land valuation due to this factor? Second SQ is, how does the government ensure that in practice that the chief valuer is able to make his valuation decisions completely independently and that no one attempts to influence his decisions?
First, let me put it beyond any shadow of doubt. The office of the chief valuer is independent, is in the Constitution. His powers, his protection are set out in law. We do not price HDB flats to recover costs of land and construction. If it were so, then when the land and construction price fluctuates, then wouldn't you see the BTO prices shooting up? In fact, the average price of four-room non-mature estate flats has remained fairly constant before the pandemic in 2019 and last year. Yes, we look at transactions of resale flats that are comparable, but then we have to apply the appropriate subsidies and grants in order to bring down these costs to an affordable level for Singaporeans. And that is why year from year, launch from launch, these have to be adjusted because of location, because of resale prices, to ensure that relative stability in the BTO market prevails.
I filed a written question for yesterday's session inquiring the dollar value of subsidies allocated by HDB in each year from 2010 to 2022. A minister, in his reply, did not set out the subsidies for each year. And I cannot understand why that information cannot be made public, because those subsidies are taxpayer subsidies.
Based on each family's circumstances, additional grants may or may not be available. And so it will vary, not just project by project, but also on who buys them. So not just subsidies, but also grants. And we have provided the cost of construction, which is put out and published. The overall amount of money that government uses as taxpayer dollar to fund home ownership is public information.
How heartland precincts get consensus on